So welcome to the lab 5 Inter-VLAN routing, and in this lab we would be performing these following tasks. Task 1 would be the introduction to Inter-VLAN routing. In the task 2 we will be configuring these two VLAN 30 and VLAN 40 on this switch, and then assign the ports to these two VLANs. In the task 3 we will be testing the inter-VLAN communication. And how would we test it? We will perform a ping request from PC1 to laptop 1. And by default, we won't be able to ping laptop 1 because these two devices are in different VLANs. And VLAN are meant for the purpose to segregate traffic. So two different VLAN do not communicate with each other. So in order to make them communicate in the task 4, we will configure SVIs, which is switch virtual interface for both of these VLANs. And after configuring the SVIs in the task 5, we will again test the inter-VLAN communication or inter-VLAN routing by pinging the laptop 1 again from PC 1. So let's get started. So task 1 is what is the inter-VLAN routing and why we need it. So inter-VLAN routing is basically the process of allowing communication between different VLANs. So since VLANs are isolated by default, a router or a layer 3 switch is needed in order to make communication between them. So this switch, this 3560, this is not a normal switch. This is a multi-layer or a layer 3 switch, which means that it can perform layer 3 routing. So there are multiple methods of performing the inter-VLAN routing. In this specific today's lab, we will be performing the inter-VLAN routing using this multi-layer switch. We can also use a router, which is also known as the router on a stick method, that we would be performing in the next lab. But in today's lab, we are simply using a layer 3 switch. So let's get to the task 2 and get to the practical work of configuring VLANs and assigning ports to the VLANs. So let's get to the switch CLI. And first of all, let me change the host name of the switch as per the diagram, which is switch 1. And now I will configure two VLANs, VLAN 30. So the first VLAN is VLAN 30 and I will name it as HR, and I will assign the fast Ethernet 01 to this VLAN. So I will go to the interface, fast Ethernet 01. I will configure the interface into access mode, and then I will assign it to VLAN 30 that we just created. Now at the other side, I will create the second VLAN, which is VLAN 40. I will name it as HR as per the diagram, and sorry, there is a conflict. So this one is HR, the green one, and the blue one is that name is at IT. So I will name this as IT, and I will assign the fast Ethernet 02 to this VLAN. I will go into the interface, fast Ethernet 02, switch port mode access, and switch port access VLAN 40. So we are done with the configuring the VLANs and assigning. Let me save the configuration. The configuration is saved. We'll close the CLI. So we are done with the task 2, which is configuring the VLANs and assigning these ports to the specific VLANs. So now let's go to the task 3, which is testing the inter-VLAN communication. So we have now two VLANs, VLAN 30 and VLAN 40. We will test the communication by pinging the laptop 1 from PC1. I will go to the command prompt, and the laptop 1 IP address is, I will ping 10.10.40.1, and it is not pinging because both these devices are in different VLANs, and by default different VLANs do not communicate with each other. So we will go to our task number 4, which is the main task of our today's lab, and that is configuring the SVI switch virtual interface, or you can also say that configuring the layer 3 interfaces for both these VLANs. So we'll go again to the switch. We'll go into the global configuration mode, and this is how we will configure the SVI. First of all, we will configure the SVI for VLAN 30. So I will use the command interface VLAN 30. Okay, and I will assign IP address 10.10.30.254. This IP address will actually work as a gateway for all the clients that are in this VLAN, and subnet mask will be 255.255.255.0, and I will use the command no shutdown so that this interface, layer 3 interface, is in up mode, and I will exit, and now I will configure the same SVI for VLAN 40. I will assign the IP address to this, which is 10.10.40.254, and the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, and I will again use the no shutdown command so that I will also use. So that's it. We are almost done with the configuration. Configuring the SVI. So configuring the SVI is very simple. You just enter the command interface VLAN and then the specific VLAN ID that you want to configure the SVI for, and then you give the IP address, which is basically the gateway for all the clients, and that's it. Now again, we will test the Inter-VLAN routing by pinging the devices again of these two different VLAN. So I will go to the command prompt again, and I will try to ping the laptop again, and it is, I think, not pinging. Okay, so we forgot one thing, which is the default. I have given the IP address to both the devices, but I haven't given the default gateway that I just configured, which is the SVI. So for VLAN 30, it is 10.10.30.254. So this is default gateway. It is basically a default route for this PC, and I will configure the default gateway for laptop of VLAN 40 as well, which is 10.10.254, and that's it. I will try to ping it again. I'll go to the command prompt and let me ping it again. Once again, it is not pinging. So let me first, we will do this step by step. Let me first ping the default gateway of the PC1, which is 254. Sure enough, it is pinging. Now let me ping the SVI of VLAN 40, which is also pinging. So, but I am not able to ping the laptop. Network is very fun when you are in troubleshooting the network issues and error. So let's see what's the issue. 10.40.254, sure enough, and 10.10.40.1. Yes, everything seems to working condition. Let me check the firewall. Firewall is off. What else? Let me go back to the switch again and let me show the operation. We may have missed something. Good enough. 40.254, 30.254. Where is the issue? Let me check again. Nope. Okay, sure enough. It is able to ping now. So the issue was that we just forgot to enter this command. So this command is used to enable the routing between VLANs. So it is since it is a switch, it enables the switch to route traffic between VLANs. So that's it. We are done with the successful inter-VLAN routing. So that's it for today video. So please subscribe and stay tuned for the next lab. See you soon.